Do you think men are important? Like for what?
Monsters, and they aren't machines. Men think about more than hunting and killing and defending. Men are capable of compassion as well as cruelty. Men want to believe that they are right and that their enemies are wrong. To separate us from them, men find moral fault in their enemies and create codes of conduct to distinguish themselves as good men. One of the finest examples of this is the Christian knight and ascetic committed to piety and violence, fighting in shining armor for goodness with God on his side. Most men would agree that it is better to be a good man who stands up to bad men. They would rather be heroes than villains. Most men want to see themselves as good men, fighting for something greater than survival or gain. When you ask men about what makes a real man, a lot of them will get up on their high horses and start talking about what it means to be a good man. A real man would never hit a woman. A man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man. A real man takes responsibility for his actions. A real man pays his debts. However, if you ask the same men to list their favorite guy movies, many of them will include films like The Godfather, Scarface, Goodfellas, and Fight Club. Don Corleone, Tommy DeVito, and Henry Hill were all ruthless racketeers. Scarface was a murdering drug lord. Tyler Durden was basically a domestic terrorist. There are scores of popular gang and heist flicks. Among them, despite the moral posturing, men are attracted to these characters precisely because they are manly. Bad guys tend to operate in brutal, indelicate, and unmoderated boys' clubs, and they seem to be particularly concerned with the business of being a man. Gangsters are status conscious, aggressive, tactically oriented, ballsy, brother bonding, men's men. The loner hitmen are portrayed as capable but careful, smooth operators who are masters of their dangerous craft. They are not good men, but they are good at doing the kinds of things that have been demanded of men throughout human history. They are not good men, but they are good at being men. Before film, men and boys were thrilled by tales of outlaws, pirates, highwaymen, and thieves. Whether these stories were romanticized or spun as cautionary tales, they captured the male imagination with adventurous accounts of daring and mischievous virility. Despite the moral posturing, men are attracted to these characters precisely because they are manly. A man who is more concerned with being a good man than being good at being a man makes a very well-behaved slave. There has always been a push and pull between civilized virtues and tactical gang virtues. However, the kind of masculinity acceptable to civilized societies is in many cases related to survival ban masculinity. Civilized masculinity requires male gang promise to become increasingly controlled, vicarious, and metaphorical. Human societies start with the gang and then grow into nations with sports and a climate of political, artistic, and ideological competition. Eventually, as we see today, average men end up with economic competition and a handful of masturbatory outlets for their cage manhood. When a civilization fails, gangs of young men are there to scavenge its ruins, mark new perimeters, and restart the world. I define masculinity as that part of a man that equips him to survive as an individual, clan, and species. Without this masculine energy, we would have all become extinct eons ago. Masculinity empowers a man to create and produce. It also empowers him to provide for and protect those who are important to him. These aspects of masculinity include strength, discipline, courage, passion, persistence, and integrity. Masculine energy also represents the potential for aggressiveness, destructiveness, and brutality. These characteristics frighten nice guys and most women. Therefore, nice guys work especially hard to repress these traits. Most nice guys believe that by repressing the darker side of their masculine energy, they will win the approval of women. This seems logical considering the anti-male climate that has permeated our culture since the 1960s. Ironically, these same men frequently complain that women seem to be attracted to jerks rather than nice guys like them. Many women have shared with me that due to the absence of any discernible life energy in nice guys, there is little to be attracted to. They also reveal that their tendency to be attracted to jerks is because these men have more of a masculine edge to them. As nice guys try to avoid the dark side of their masculinity, they also repress many other aspects of this male energy force. As a result, they often lose their sexual assertiveness, competitiveness, creativity, ego, thirst for experience, boisterousness, exhibitionism, and power.